Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Banjo-Kazooie. At the end of the last episode, we made a lot more progress in Click Clock Wood, and in this episode, we are going to go ahead and wrap it up. And now it is time to feed our good friend, the baby eagle, Eerie. As you know, he wanted 10 caterpillars, so we, of course, obtained over 10. So it is now time to feed the baby bird once again. And he's gonna grow even bigger. Thank you, Bear. Eerie, soon be big bird. Must have sleep first. All right. As you know, a nice little baby eagle with some rest is gonna grow up into a big, beautiful adult eagle, essentially, I guess. So he's gonna go ahead and snooze himself once again into a nice little slumber. And we are going to carry on because we have still quite a little bit left to do. But we are getting pretty close actually to wrapping up this world. This is definitely the longest world of the game. Of course, it's the last, so it is very fitting. But there is just a ton of stuff to do. Like I said, this is a very complex and very creative world in terms of the item layouts and the jiggy layouts. There's actually a Mumbo token inside of the snare bear. However, I don't think I have... No, I actually don't have any golden feathers left. So we cannot actually use the Wonder Wing to get that. Unfortunately, we will have to return and come back and get that later. Crossing the bridge back up to Nabnut. We'll go ahead and drop off the one acorn we do have. However, of course, we still need one more. So he, of course, is letting us know we still don't have enough. But if we break open this window... we can actually enter through this. And there is a bunch of water in here, but there is, of course, the last acorn just sitting there at the very bottom of this watery area. I'm not sure why he would want the acorn now that it's all soaking wet. I'm not sure if it would taste as good as it would dry. But we'll go ahead and give him what he wants nonetheless, because the dude just really needs his acorns before he hibernates for the wintertime. Yippee! That's all the acorns I need. Here, take this. I will see you in spring. Yeah, funny enough, we've already seen him, but of course he's going to hibernate for the winter, so he will not be, I guess, seen again until springtime. He'll be kind of hiding out in his house. So, with that said, we're going to move right along, and yeah, we're going to go ahead and wrap things up here. Going back down to the ground, we are actually done here for now in fall. There are a few collectibles that we need to get in the snare bears, but unfortunately we don't have any golden feathers, and of course we can't use the bee transformation in the fall section, so we'll have to return back there at a later time. But for now, we have still one more section left to explore. We've done spring, we've done summer, we just pretty much finished fall. We have just a couple of loose ends we need to tie up, but now it is time to enter winter. Winter is here. So yeah, so this is going to this section is going to have a lot of shades from Freeze Easy Peak, where a lot of the layout environment's very similar in terms of how Freeze Easy Peak was laid out. We even have the return of the Sir Slush enemies, the evil freaking creepy snowman guys that like to laugh and smile at us with their big creepy freaking mouths, and of course they love to chuck snowballs at us. However, one thing about the winter section is, as you notice, the snare bears are actually not alive. So they're actually, they've actually wilted because, of course, in wintertime, most plants are not going to survive. So we can actually collect the collectibles that are sitting inside of the snare bears freely now. We don't have to worry about them snapping at us, biting us, you know, all that crazy stuff. We can just go ahead and collect whatever they have. Without any issues or any harm. And there's a lot that have golden feathers, so this is definitely an opportunity to replenish our golden feather count, because of course, and I would fall right there, that's okay because we landed at Mumbo's hut. But like I said, of course we're going to need golden feathers to collect those collectibles inside of the other snare bears in the other section in fall. And we actually have some more notes we didn't get there as well. But for now, we're going to go ahead and enter Mumbo's hut, and in this season, Mumbo's actually not here at all. Mumbo's on vacation, you hairy fool. Come back in spring. Stupid freaking beehive. I didn't need you to tell me that, man. I could have figured that out on my own. But yeah, Mumbo does not like it cold, even though he does appear in Freeze Easy Peaks. That's interesting. But I guess in Click Clock Wood, he is too cool for the winter time. So I guess he is just not present here. So that's great. He's letting us down, man. As much as I was praising the guy, he's a hard worker, he's dedicated, he's a good ally. He doesn't even show up in wintertime. The dude is just too cool for us. But now we're gonna go ahead and take this flight pad because this is actually now conveniently placed right here in front of Mumbo's hut. There's actually a Jinjo up here at the very top, and that is actually the final Jinjo of the world. That'll give us another Jiggy. And looks like we want a gamer pick to spice up our gamer profile. Not really relevant to the, this adventure or this Let's Play, but hey, it was there nonetheless. Let's go ahead and take the flight pad once again. And of course, we can go ahead and actually take out these Sir Slushes because they will hold a lot of collectibles and rewards just like they did in Freeze Easy Peak. As you can see, this one was hiding a Mumbo token underneath him. I love how they're just hiding a lot of these important items within their bodies. Like, these guys are so creepy, and yeah, they really need to go. There's actually a Mumbo token sitting right there on the wilted plant that we took so much time to grow with our eggs, and of course with our good friend Gobi's water. Of course, we had to abuse him in the process. Yes, that's right. Swim under there. Icy water takes double air. So yeah, icy water does take double the amount of air. But what we actually want to do is, and of course I would turn at the very wrong time, we want to go ahead and find Naughty's home, and we want to actually swim inside of there again. And there's the entrance right there. I hope I don't run out of air. This is kind of close. I think I'm going to make it. That's actually going to be close. Okay, wow. That was a good close one. But now that we have re-entered Naughty's home, we will actually find a new prize in here. I don't usually get visitors in winter. If we actually go ahead and backflip up to the top of the shelf, you will find an empty honeycomb piece. So yeah, that was actually not something that was visible back in fall. So we are, this is actually the only season where you can actually grab that in Naughty's home. So yes, like I said before, there are collectibles that are newly obtainable in some of these other seasons. So this season, we will actually have a lot more to collect that were actually not visible in fall or summer or spring, any of the other previous seasons. So something to keep in mind as well. And again, like I said, a lot of this world is you're just kind of going back and forth between the different seasons. Things in one season impact the other, so on and so forth. I think I've pretty much hit the nail on the head with the whole concept of Click Clock Wood. But for now, we need to focus on essentially just kind of cleaning up and finishing off our hunt for the Jiggies, the notes, and all the other collectibles like the Mumbo tokens and things like that. So for now, we are going to go ahead and head over this way. We're going to take the flight pad again because fortunately for this world, similar to the spring world, it's a lot easier to get around because we were able to fly around and get to a lot of different areas a lot quicker. But for now, we're going to continue taking out the Sir Slushes because once again, they hold some collectibles we might need as well. There are some notes sitting up there in that snowy branch, so I want to make sure to come back to that location once I'm done doing what I'm doing right now. And there's, of course, the cabin, all nice and snowy, and it has some notes on top of it. We want to make sure we come back to that as well. So yeah, a lot of collectibles kind of, you know, scattered about. But if you look over there, you can see our buddy Erie's. It looks like he's all grown up and he's changed. We actually want to bust open that window because we're going to need to go into there here in a little bit. But I want to keep flying because there's a few other things we need to do, like visit our good buddy Erie. Look at him. He's all grown up. He's a big giant eagle. Look at this guy. Oh my, such an awkward position to be in the air. Erie, mighty eagle at last. Watch me as I fly to the sky. They grow up so fast, man. All we had to do was feed him some caterpillars, bust open his egg, and he's good. I have reward for Bear Friend. Here it comes. Very nice. So he's going to give us, if I can make it, that is going to be our final Jiggy. We finally, at last, obtain the final jigsaw piece of Click Clock Wood. So we, again, like I said, are just kind of wrapping things up now. So we have still more notes. We have a couple more Mumbo tokens to get, and then we're pretty much done here. So we'll go ahead and collect these. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is left of Click Clock Wood. Go ahead and click this note up here. There's actually a golden feather right up here in the snare bearer. Let me take out that Guy right there. Rublin Hood, of course. Moving back along, we actually want to go ahead and go back in this direction. And if you remember, there's actually some notes that are placed right here on this snowy platform. So we want to go ahead and grab these. Extra life right there. So you might as well pick that one up as well. So now, if we actually go ahead and head back into Nabnut's house, his door is going to be closed, but we can still bust open through the window. We can still break in through the window because that's what friends do. They break into each other's houses. And as you can see, Nabnut is fast asleep. He's essentially in hibernation mode. Of course, he's dreaming of acorns because what else would he be dreaming about? The guy is just freaking obsessed with the things. But he is nice and toasty, warm, and he's just so cozy. And we don't want to interrupt his sleep, so we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna let our friend sleep. We can't really bust open his door, but we can go back out through the window because we're his friend. But at the same time, I guess we are, creeping on him. I don't know. But anyways, we'll let him do his little thing, let him get some rest. And there's actually a mumbo token I forgot to grab over here. So we can grab this without falling, and wonderful, very nice. We'll go ahead and move right along to the next thing. Taking things back into the air, we actually have a mumbo token sitting right there in the, essentially the destroyed beehive. And I know the bees kind of let us know they were moving out in the fall, so they are no longer there now. But down here, we have another Sir Slush that is actually sitting right next to a Gruntilda switch. That is the final one of the game. I cannot believe I'm saying that. It literally feels like we just started this adventure and it's getting to the point where we're essentially at the end here. But we want to go ahead and take this guy out so he doesn't get in our way and knock us off. And if we can land on this little tiny part of the tree. Perfect. We'll go grab that honeycomb for health regeneration, and we will stop the last Gruntilda switch, and that will reveal a Jiggy just outside of the entrance of Click Clock Wood. So we want to make sure we grab that once we're done here. Jumping back down. And bust that sucker open because that's just something we do. We bust things open. Jump up here. Actually, I want to go ahead and grab that golden feather. I again need to replenish my golden feather count because again, we do have to go back to fall to collect some of those items that were in those snare bears. So heading over this direction, we did forget a few notes, if I don't fall off here, that are just sitting right here on this snowy limb of this branch. So we'll go ahead and grab those. Couple golden feathers. Looks like we're about maxed out on those. Very nice because, like I said, again, we need more of those. I'm actually going to go ahead and grab this one, just sitting right here conveniently. And that will max us out on golden feathers. Very nice. I'm going to go ahead and fall down here without taking any damage very gracefully. Take our flight pad and we will move right along. We actually want to go ahead and grab this mumbo token that was sitting here in this, what used to be a beehive. Because I don't want to forget that. I passed it over earlier and I'm going to go ahead and grab it now. Back down we go. Man, our poor plant. So much hard work and dedication went into that. Heading over this way, there's actually a mumbo token hiding behind this area over here. This little snowy, little snowy platform here that we've seen many times before already. And heading back into the air, I don't believe there's anything over here in this little circular path, but we do have our, of course, famous cabin that has a few more notes on top of it. So we want to go ahead and collect these. I can land up there. Didn't do it, but that's okay because we can still backflip up there. Can't bust open the door. It's actually sealed shut. It looks like it's finally done. Kind of looks a little sloppy, but it's still completed nonetheless. But we want to go ahead and jump up to the roof, and this is where we will find 4 more notes. We only have 3 more to get. And I think I actually remember where those are. Of course, they're back in the fall season where we were not able to collect them because we ran out of golden feathers. So taking the flight pad up here, we actually want to go ahead and head back through that window right above Nabnut's house because I forgot to do this. Going into here, we have another part of Nabnut's home. This is actually, I guess, essentially his attic. But he has a bunch of acorns stored up here. I believe that's a pile of acorns. Man, get away from me, dude. He's like freaking harassing me in this corner here. I don't know what the heck he's trying to do there. Take out those grublin hoods and we can actually jump over on top of the entrance. Actually, I'm going to do this instead. Probably easier. But as you notice, there was another empty honeycomb, and that is the last one of Click Clock Wood. I'm actually going to... If I can get up there, man, I'm having problems here. Actually, yeah, let's just make it easy. Get on the pile of acorns, jump up here, collect our extra honeycomb, and that is the very last extra honeycomb of the game. And that will give us our final 8th honeycomb piece. So we have the max amount of lives and honeycombs that there is in the game. Very nice. We're going to exit out Nabnut's window and we're going to head on to the next direction. Flipping and sliding here. All right, so we're going to surface back to the ground and we're actually going to go ahead and exit the winter section because we're done here. All right, so now that we have turned back to the fall season, of course, we have a few items left to collect that we weren't able to before because we ran out of golden feathers. One of those being the final 3 notes of the world that are just sitting in this snare bear. Now that we are plentiful of golden feathers, we can collect the last bit of the notes. And we are officially done with the notes in this world. So we are officially at 100% completion. Tying up a few loose ends. There's actually an extra life here in this snare bear. Not really necessary, but figured I'd show it off in case anybody was interested in that and they forgot where it was. And heading back up to the top of the tree, if you remember, we have that mumbo token that we were not able to get just moments ago, but now that we have golden feathers, we can finally collect that one. Very nice. Exiting fall, we are done here. So we actually have, well, technically we have one more thing left to do. But that actually is going to require us to re-enter the spring section. Yes, so we are done in the spring section. But we have one thing that we need to go get in order to get another Jiggy. Alright, so now that we have transformed back into our lovely bee self, it has to be my favorite transformation of the game, I have to say. We're going to take a little stroll. We're going to grab that golden feather and we are actually going to go ahead and head right back out the entranceway because, of course, there's nothing left for us to do here. But there is one thing left to do as bee form. So let's go ahead and head right over to that. We're going to exit spring. And as you can see, we can now freely roam around the central area. We actually didn't do this before. As you can see, you can actually fly all the way above these branches. And as you can see, there's actually nothing up here. And I kind of wish they had maybe placed some items or maybe even a Jiggy or some secrets up here. It looks like they had some space up here that they didn't really utilize. Because it really feels like you're meant to fly up there as the bee and maybe collect something or do something. But regardless, we're gonna go ahead and actually exit through the entrance pad, because if you remember, we had that Jiggy that we unlocked via Grunty switch, and the only way to get to it is this bee banjo. And so we fly all the way up to the top of that crevice in that tree. We can collect the final Jiggy that is located in Gruntilda's lair. Oh my gosh. That is the last Jiggy of the game. I cannot believe it. We have every Jiggy in the freaking game. We have officially 100% of the game. We just have one thing left to do, and it is to unlock the note door that is located right in this little crevice here. You remember. And we are actually going to go ahead and do that in the next episode. So next time on Banjo-Kazooie, we are going to bust open this note door and we're going to see what lies behind it. And I will say, we are getting pretty much to the end of the game here. So behind that note door, we will see what lies ahead towards the end of our quest to take out the evil witch herself, Gruntilda. So until then, I will see you later.